Hello everybody and welcome. This is Roland from Graphic in Motion. In this tutorial I want to show you how to customize my Retro Motion promo template. And if you purchased the template and you unzipped your folder, then you will see that there are 10 different projects included, and these are the different color profiles that I included. I can show you them here. So you see that these are preview pictures of all the color profiles, and all these color profiles are included in this download. So to customize the template, I will use the Retro Motion promo number 2 now, because this is what fits to my corporate identity. So I will just open up my Retro Motion promo 02. And now I will get this message that it has to be converted because I created this template with After Effects CS3 and I'm using CS5 now. So you see that it is compatible with all the versions from CS3 and above. And now I have my project here. So first step is to import my logo. Therefore I move to my logo composition. It should be already open in the timeline, but if not, then you can just open it up from your project window here. So let's go to the logo composition and now import my logo and open it up and just drag it on top of the placeholder, and we see that it is a little bit big, so we scale it down and this looks quite cool. And I will disable the placeholders. So the next step that I want to do is to go to my render settings and check the final result. And in my case, I want to change the style a little bit so that this whole thing looks a little bit better and is a little bit closer to my corporate identity. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to change the yellow, that it really matches my yellow. And this is pretty easy. If you go to the render composition, you see that on top of the project you find a layer called the style control. And when you select this layer in your effect controls, you will see that these 5 controllers appear. With these controllers you control the whole look of the project. So what we are going to do here is to change the yellow, and you can see that there are 4 colors which really color the whole project. So if I scroll through my project, you will see that every element is colored with one of these 4 colors. So these colors control the whole look, and that's why it's very easy to change the look. So let's do this for now. I will just take the color picker from my contrast color, which is yellow, and I want to match it to my yellow. So I just pick the yellow from my logo here. And now let's say I want to get rid of the textures. You see that these retro style textures appear in the background from time to time. And let's say that I don't want them in my final render, so I can just use this texture on off control here. You see that this is a slider and the default value is 1. And if you set this to 0, then all the textures disappear. So now we have a very clean looking design. And that's what I prefer for my customization for now. Okay, so the logo is imported and I like the style. And now I will edit the first title. So if you take a look at the project in the render comp, you will see that I put in some markers that you always have a good overview over the project while customizing it, and that you can navigate through the whole project very fast so that you see where you have to put which titles. So let's do that. Go to the marker of title number 1, and now I will go to my project window and I will just reveal all my title placeholders. And you see here I have title number 1, and I just double click it and open it. And now the first layer is a text layer, and I can customize my text by just double clicking this layer. And I will just change the name of the company now, and I will just type in Graphic in Motion, and then I just want to adjust the position of these small circles. You can see them right here, and these 2 small circles should should be positioned at the end and at the beginning of the text. So we will select the first circle and move our cursor to a frame where we can see the circles, and here you see them. And now I just grab the layer and I position them right here to the beginning. And now I change the second small circles and I will put them out here. And now when you go back to render comp, you can see that when the title is animating in, then as a small endpoint, these circles appear. So the next step is to enter the next titles. And you know, it's always the same. You just move your cursor to your title, then you can open up your title composition. And here you also have a text layer, and you can double click it and just enter your text. What you also can do, of course, is to change the font. You know, you can take some modern font and change the style here. I use this font because it's a free font, so you can download it and use it. And it has some kind of a retro look, so that's why I used it. And now I could type in some entering title and I can tell the people what I do. We are a motion design company. And in fact, I don't have to do anything here. You know, I do not even have to adjust the size. Of course, you can do it. You know, if you want to change the font size, then you go to your character window and you can change the size of the font, or you can change the alignment here and everything, you know. But I will just leave it with the defaults for now, and I will go back to my render composition, and you see that now my title is inside my render composition. And if I move on to my next titles, which are title 3 and 4, I also want to show you how to customize these. Therefore, we just move to our project window again and open up the title number 3. Title number 3 is just this services and skills. You know, you can just get rid of the services or just rid of the skills and write in service or skills. In my case, I will just delete the skill and I will write services and just position this in the middle of the composition. Therefore, I just will activate my title and action save markers like this. And now I go back to my render comp to check the final result. And that's quite okay. And I will also show you how to enter the title number 4. Therefore, I just open up my title number 4 composition, double click my text layer again, and I can enter some text here. And in this case, I just will enter what I offer. And this is After Effects templates, motion design elements, and tutorials. And you see, I'm lucky as hell because this is really spot on, more or less. So I do not have to do anything. I could leave it like it is, but just to show you in case that your text is too short or too long, then of course again you can start playing around with these values in your character window. So let's say I want to decrease the size a little bit. So that's set, or I have to select a layer. And now decrease the size, let's say to 40. And if you take a close look now, my font is not placed in the middle anymore, you know, because now it's smaller, so it's positioned a little bit to the outer edge of the circle, and I don't want this. I want this to be in the middle of this white circle. And you could, of course, now take, you know, this mask here, which is the text path, but I don't want to change this. I can position my text easier with this value here. I don't know exactly what it is called. So it's called a set the baseline shift. And we will shift this. And if I shift this, you see that now my font moves. So from to the inner edge or to the outer edge, and I want to set it approximately in the middle. And that should be here somewhere. Okay. And now you can see that a part of my circle is not filled with text now, and this doesn't look so great. So I will just type in a few minuses here just to fill up this free space. And I think that's pretty cool. And now I'm done with my title number 4, and I can go back to my render comp and check the final result. Very good. And now you can enter your skills. So the skills titles are here. You can see it also inside your titles placeholder folder. So skill title 1, if I open this up, you will see that this is also just a text layer, and you can activate the transparency here, because then you will see it a little bit better. It depends what color profile you're using. So for this dark one, I will just activate my transparency grid here. And now I can edit my title. Again, you can see there is a marker which tells you edit title after this marker, because for this marker it's not animated in yet. And so here we can edit the title. Again, the same thing. Let's put in the first skill or service. In this case, I will just enter service, and I will enter customization. And you see that now this is really way too big, so I have to change this a little bit. I will decrease the size of the font. Let's set it to 40. And now I will just scale it vertically a little bit so that it's a little bit bigger. Okay. And I can position it again with the baseline shift. And you can do this with every skill title. Customization for all the skill titles is the same. And you see now I have my first title. It's already up here, and it looks quite cool. Okay, the next thing we want to do is to put in some media here. You can see that here in the middle there are media placeholders. You can put in photos, pictures, graphics, or just some videos or whatever. And I will show you how to customize these now. Therefore, we have to go to our project window and search the folder called media placeholders. And then we just open this one up, and you can see that we have media 1 to media 13. So media 1 to media 6, you will see here they are corresponding with the skills or the services or whatever you want to enter here, you know. So let's say for my first skill or my first service of customization, I will enter some, I don't know, picture from an After Effects environment or whatever. So I open up a picture, and then I go to my media 1 placeholder and double click to open it up. So I'll just import my picture, and I will put it on top of my placeholder here. And this is just a screenshot from some After Effects project, which I want to use as a reference for customization in this case. Of course, you can put in, if you are promoting products or whatever, then put in some price sheets, or you can of course also type in a text or a number. You don't have to put in a media. You see that you have your placeholder here with a background, so you can just edit this title, for example, and write something in. But for now, I just will take this picture. So I will position it like this. And that's okay for now. And I go back to my render comp, and you see that now with my customization that my media appears here inside of this circle. Okay, so if we move on to our next step, so after our skills, titles and circles and media, we have another title which is very similar or more or less similar to the title number 2. So I think I don't have to explain how to edit it. You know, you just open up again our title placeholders folder, open up your title number 2, type in some text, and done. And now we move on to our film reel media wheel or showcase or whatever it is. And in this one we can again enter some media and some texts. And I just want to show you So I will just zoom in a little bit in the project, because then you can see that I also put in some placeholders here so that you know which media you are currently. So let's move our cursor to media number 7, which is the first one in this reel. And now I want to customize this media, and therefore I will go to my media placeholders again and open it up and take media number 7 and double click to open it. And now if you take a look at the placeholder here, then you will see that it has an in point and an out point. You see that the whole film reel is visible from frame number 690 approximately, or even longer, until the end. You know, it rotates through and then it scales down again, and then after this title popped up, it just moves out of our frame. And during this time the media will be visible, but only from frame number 737 until the next media appears, which will be in this case frame number 785, the media is really in focus and we're really seeing what's happening. And this is important if you import videos. So let's say I want to put in a video here and I really want to place it accurately so that I know which part will be shown in my reel. And this part should be aligned between the in and the out point. So just let's do that now. I will just open up a new video. So import file. And for now I just want to import another rendered version of my retro motion promo template and drag it on top of my placeholder. And let's say that I want to place the video exactly in position that my placeholder number 7 is visible during my placeholder number 7. I know it sounds a little bit strange, but I will show you exactly what I mean with it in a moment. So I just move my video over until I can see my showcase, and that's exactly what I want to do. So I will move my cursor to the in point, and now I just move my video right in position. And that should be perfect. And you see that this render is full HD, but our media is only in 720p. So I can scale it down to 66% or 67%. And now we can go to the render comp, and now you will see what I did here is put this just in the right spot so that it is visible until the reel moves on. So you see, if I go to my, so if I move to a frame later in the animation, you see that my video here still is visible. So be sure that you fill up your media compositions from the first to the last frame. You can just put in some copies if you just have very short videos. So be sure just to fill in the whole composition. Of course, if you work with photos, then you don't have to think about these things. Okay, now let's move on to our render comp. And now we will show you how to customize the titles that we can see here at the side. And therefore we just have to enter the portfolio composition, and it should be already open here in the timeline, but if not, then you can also find it in the project window. So let's move to this composition, and inside here you will see that we have 7 text layers, and these are the titles that belong to the media. On top of this composition I put in a navigation layer. This layer doesn't do anything, I just needed it to put in some markers so that you know at which frame which title is visible, and so that you can navigate a little bit easier while customizing your titles. Let's say I want to customize this title number 1 and I want to enter the name of the media that you are currently watching here. So I will just type in retro motion promo. And I also want to explain that it is an After Effects template. So I will just write in AE template and put in minus, and now it is way too big, so I will just select my text layer and scale it down. And maybe this is a little bit too small, but this is quite fine. And that's how you can edit every media title here. So now you see after our film reel, then we have another title, and I think that you already know how to edit it. You can take a look here. It's title number 6. So you move to our project window, open up your title placeholders folder, move to title number 6, open it up, enter your text, and done. Same thing, title number 7. And now we move to the end of the animation. And in this case, we have 2 more titles left. The logo is already imported because it uses the same composition as in the beginning. And now I can just open up my title number 8 and take a look at this, and you see that this is this small title up here, and we're just put in visit us at, and you can see that here is a marker which says the title is visible here. So if you move a little bit far to the right, then you will see that it disappears, and here in the beginning it's not visible yet. So we'll move in the middle of this small text layer, double click it, and now you can edit this title too, but I don't want to change it. I just want to change my web address, so I will open up title number 9 and just do the same here. Move the cursor approximately to the middle, double click the text layer and enter www.graphicinmotion.com. And this is it. So I can go back to my render comp, and now we're done with the customization. And last but not least, I want to show you how you can add music to this whole thing. The sound effects in this animation are already included in this project. You can see it here on the bottom. There is this sound effects MP3. And if you have problems with MP3, because I had some problems using it in After Effects CS, I included also a WAV file in the footage folder. So if you go to your download folder, then you can see that inside the footage folder, there is an MP3 and a WAV file. So you can just import this and drop it on bottom here and just take a look that it really aligns with the first frame. But if you want to use the music that I used in the preview video, you probably will realize that I did some editing because I just made it a little bit shorter. And so I prepared a composition where you just can drop in your music file and it will be automatically placed in the right spot and be edited automatically so that it really fits your animation. So let's say you purchased the Gypsy Swing music, and now let's import this file. Open it up, and now we will go to the Gypsy Swing Music Here composition, and we just drag it in here and just take a look that it really aligns with the first frame, and everything else is done by this composition here. So now the song is placed in the right spot and is also edited so that it is a little bit shorter and fits perfectly to our animation. And you see now we have music and the sound effects. What you probably want to do is to adjust the levels a little bit. I would say that you turn down the audio level from the music a little bit, let's say to -2, and here also to -2, and this maybe to about -3 or -4, just that we do not reach the top level here, you know, and that should be fine. And now you are ready to render it out. So I hope you like this template, and I hope that you create some really cool designs. You know, be creative, really use the color controls here. You can do amazing things with them. You know, it's really useful tool to play around, and it's also very useful to combine these maybe with some color profiles from Cooler. You know, you can put in some different designs here. As you see, I'm just creating something like this now. That also looks quite cool, but doesn't fit my corporate identity. And if you have any more questions, then feel free to email me or send me a personal message through my VideoHive profile. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.